Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Next Level Play. It's your source, scholarly JSTOR source, for all things gaming.
And other pop culture things. This is a serious show where we talk about serious topics like video games,
Pop culture.
esports.
Web3. Still don't know what that is.
And we have awesome guests on who know a lot about what they're talking
Is
about.
that so? Is that so?
Yes.
I got some bold predictions. Do you want to fight?
In a world. Let's start the podcast.
The future of esports and gaming is right here, right now.
Next level play.
Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning, Marcus.
Just gonna keep pointing at you.
Touch fingers.
Oh,
Good morning, Marcus.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I feel like every time we ask each other how we are on the show, I feel like I'm in the grocery store where you have like a casual 1-2 with a cashier who you don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care, but we have to say it.
I think we have.
But
Yeah.
I care.
I care. Yeah. It's like when you ask someone how they are and they're like, not so good. And it's like, oh my God.
You're like,
who
oh
asked?
no, I
Yeah,
only
it's like-
have 2 minutes. I didn't think you were doing so bad.
I feel like we both kind of, and I'm not saying that I did this consciously, but I feel like we both, we chat a little bit before the podcast.
We don't talk at all.
Yeah, and
we sit in silence, then we
yeah,
walk.
we're not friends.
We're not
outside
friends.
this. But like we do chat a little bit, and I think we always like get a gauge, like, oh man, you're having a tough day, and then the other person always like, how are you doing today?
You think
Just
it's
like,
1-1?
I do. I think I'm always like, I don't know. I don't think you're not doing great. I'm just saying. I feel like
I'm
people only
always-
ask me how I'm doing when I'm not doing great, and I have to force the yes. you know?
No, you don't have to force the yes. That is a fallacy. I think we need to change that in society. I think, especially amongst your peers, maybe don't unload,
Yeah.
at a public place to a stranger.
I mean, nobody wants someone who just complains all the time either.
Well, don't be a negative Nancy.
Exactly.
Don't be the negative
You
Nancy.
gotta be like, hey, listen, everyone has struggles, and you gotta just.
What if I've said something recently where I'm like, they're like, oh, how's it going? Or like, how are you doing? If they say, how's it going? Sometimes I just go, it's going.
Yeah,
that's the
sometimes-
classic.
yeah,
You're like,
that's like-
chugging along.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I wanted to say, I'm doing well, and I'm excited. I'm jumping ahead already, but I'm excited because we're having a guest on today. Who is in
That's new.
Who's in our field? Yeah, we've never done this
Yeah.
before. Who's in our field. We've said it before, Marcus and I are both actors and voice actors, and we love to talk about the state of the
industry.
film industry,
industry.
the gaming industry, and what that means for actors and voice actors. And we've talked about it on so many different episodes. We're going to talk about it today, but I truly can't wait for our guest so we can discuss with another person
Yes.
and unload on them all our negativity. No, I'm kidding.
What's his name?
Jeff Pictor is his name. He'll be in later. We'll get to that. But
Yes.
I did really want to talk about VO. That's voiceover for you guys
Well,
at home.
industry insider knowledge.
We're going to
for
give you all those
Yeah.
insider tips and tricks today. And about the gaming industry and beyond. I think we'll talk about this. I'm not too concerned with gaming right now as the AI takeover begins for VO artists. I know that there are games out there that use AI generated voiceover. I know that there are films. Recently, there's been controversy about films using AI to modulate people's voices, enhance things, whatever. We're not yet at the point where you can fully utilize an AI created character or voice that's going to be able to do everything for you, solve all your problems, not sound fucking bizarro, bad and weird.
Bad, I'd say.
Bad, I would say.
Yeah.
I think the most that I've seen AI used in VO has been for weird, random, obviously very low budget, sponsored advertisements on like Instagram or something. And you can tell immediately.
That's the thing. You can tell.
It's so strange.
It's so
obvious.
Right.
I don't even know what to compare it to, except I guess like AI art, where you see something and you're like, that's not real. They have too many teeth in that mouth. That's not real. But it always pops up, and it's just like, I've been using this for 3 weeks. I've noticed extreme changes in a positive way. It's just so strange.
Cut the gaps out.
The
Like, edit it.
The cadence is
lazy.
wrong.
Yeah.
The diction is wrong. The inflections of the words are wrong. But I wanted to discuss how you feel and anything you've heard recently in terms of, will AI take over the voice acting industry? What does this mean for video games? Let's jump into it, and then obviously we're going to talk with our guest too.
Yes. We had a similar argument a couple of weeks ago, but
Us having the same argument again on the show? I don't think
we're
do that.
ignoring that. I
don't think we do that.
I am not threatened personally as a voice actor, and primarily my bread and butter is voice.
Well, I'm
a voice host producer. Like that's my job. Like full-time job.
This is the main thing is
Right.
that people fear and actors fear
Right.
that their job will be taken away. You don't think so?
Well, not yet, at least. I think we still have a long way to go. I think AI does not work for acting because it's so human, and it's again, your brain can tell the difference. The people who, and that's the thing. Again, I host, I host a social casino game with live players every day. There's like 50 people in the chat at any given time. And all
usually
the
host,
time.
but you're like a producer.
Well,
Basically.
I'm in charge of the whole,
Yeah.
but I also jump in myself.
Right.
'Cause, I'm in the trenches. I'm not going to ask anyone to do anything I won't do
in the
myself.
trenches of acting.
Yeah. So, and then my bosses, they can't act at all. So it's anyway, it sucks. Anyway,
Not
it's
everybody
fine.
can. No, but I think you make a good point. Not everybody can act. Not everybody can be a voiceover artist.
Yeah.
It's true. Like it is just, I think, fundamentally true. Not
Right.
everybody wants to. Like.
And again, I love my job and my bosses are great, but like it's one of those things where I don't know. I'm sure you can all relate. You have a boss who doesn't have your specialty, and they can't really, if the person above you doesn't understand
What you're
you
doing.
do,
Yeah.
it's a problem. Anyway, so I'm the middleman and in charge of the team. But we got like 50 players in the game, and all the time, like once a day, and that always makes me like code switch and be like, oh, I got to be a little more dynamic. Someone's like, is this real? Are you AI? But I'm also on the mic being like, anyway, players, like, and I'm off the cuff. I'm making like,
real?
awkward, lewd jokes, and within
People
reason.
don't know though.
And it's so to me, it's so obvious. But that's what you like. People really think that AI is already at this level, and to me, it's the equivalent of like watching a Pixar short film from the late 80s.
Yeah.
And being like, is this real? Did they film this tin toy? Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Is
it's
this
like,
bird talking?
yeah. Like art and visualization, it's one of those things, it's and if you can't tell the difference, your brain can on a subconscious level. It's similar with CGI. You kind of make the argument. Where like CGI came out, it's older than us. It came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jurassic
and it
Park.
is improved. It is improved.
Jurassic.
But
But also Jurassic Park still looks amazing. That was
Oh, it
94.
does.
So like, really, how much have we done? But what they thought, if you asked them 30 years ago, will practical effects exist at all in movies in 30 years? I feel like most people would be like, oh hell no, it's all gonna.
it's all going to be CGI.
But it still isn't as good as the real thing, and your brain can tell if something's in front of the camera or not. And it's similar with the voice. And right now, I feel like AI is getting better and better. We had a huge spike, and it's still getting better and better and better. But I feel like hang on, let me visualize this. We're right here, and we still got here to go, and then we have this. This is the uncanny valley. We're not even there yet. We're not even close to the uncanny valley. We're still at the point of this is fake shit.
This sounds weird.
We still have a long way to go until we get to the like, I'm uncomfortable. Is this a real voice?
Yeah.
And that's gonna also be like a long kind of stretch as well. And then similar to CGI and stuff, they're gonna like reverse and they're gonna go more like zany with the AI voices.
They're gonna go Star Wars, and it's gonna be Jar Jar Binks all over again.
I mean, kind of. But I feel like, and honestly, I don't know if AI will. It's similar with like practical effects. It's like at a certain point we're human, and this is not just a human thing. Like creatures are trained to see something that is disguised, that's an imposter, and be wary and scared of it, and it's just nature. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to get past the uncanny valley.
That's a great point
AI.
too. There is this primal. I mean, there really is. There's this like primal biological thing within us, where it's like if aliens came and tried to blend,
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
If aliens came and tried to blend in, they can study the human race all they want. There's many movies about this.
Right.
They're gonna come in and they're gonna be like, normal people like to eat birthday cake.
Yeah.
It is a celebratory time. And you just see a guy at a bar eating a birthday cake, and you're gonna go, well, that guy's weird.
Yeah.
That guy's weird. I'm not gonna go anywhere near that guy. Guy eating birthday cake alone, singing to himself? No, thank you. I also wanted to say there is something to be said, and I interrupted you, so remember your thought. There's something to be said about being a creative or having a creative job and then working for people who do not do that role and don't understand it. And I think this happens all the time in film. There are creative producers and there are non-creative producers. And a lot of the time, you know, when somebody whose job it is to look at the numbers, crunch the numbers, and cut the fat, you know, or like, you know, we have this type of budget. I don't think they understand how big of a difference that becomes for the creative. They're like, we could replace this with AI, you know, we could replace this with CGI, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The decision makers a lot of the times are not the ones who have done the job before. They don't really understand.
That's kind of the point I was trying to make, yeah.
And I think that's really important to know too, because the pendulum is always swinging. You know, that happens, and then, you know, a movie like Sonic, you show what it's gonna look like, and everyone's like, God, no, no, and it's like, okay, clearly that was not a good decision.
Sure.
And I think we're gonna see some of this hit back if we reach the uncanny valley, especially. But even now, I mean, I see all these fucking advertisements on Instagram and I'm so sick of them. I'm like, it's annoying. It's grating to listen to and hear. Maybe I need to scroll on Instagram less, but it is grating to hear because it's not good. It doesn't sound real. It's not going to make me buy the product. I think they're going to realize that too. Being sold something by a non-human, I don't think is very incentivizing.
Right.
When they're like, I've used it and I feel good. You're like, okay.
I don't know how many people are actually fooled by this stuff, but it's got to be a chunk. I mean, I know it's probably at least 20-30%.
I mean, you know all the grandmas on Facebook who see the AI thing and they're like, it's so sad. This dog celebrated their birthday alone. And I'm like, that is an AI-generated image of a golden retriever with cake all over its mouth. How do you think that's real, Grandma? The candles are like on its fur. How do you think that's real, Grandma?
I'm like not even exaggerating. The only thing I've used Facebook for in the last 6 months is I'm on a few groups that are boomers being fooled by AI.
Stop it.
I'm not even that passionate about it.
But you'll just pop in.
I happen to follow it, and like now it's the only thing on my feed. It's just like kind of taken over. And I go on Facebook to check in, and then I just see like a feed of boomers getting fooled by AI.
It's like becoming a new scam. Like it feels like a scam. Like
I mean, it can be.
It could be. It could be used to like, here's your daughter.
Yeah.
She's in prison. You know.
I mean, that's where everyone's freaking out about deepfakes, though.
Well, that's kind of that's I guess where that's going too.
And that fear is still there, but like 10 years ago, remember we were all freaked out that the world was going to end because someone was going to use a deep fake of a political figure and it's going to create World War III and blah, 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 blah,
and there was a huge thing with voiceover at that time, too, for deepfakes. I remember Obama. People were trying to... This was like pre-AI. But it was stitching together Obama's voice over different, times to try to make him say bad things because people were so anti-Obama at the time. And it wasn't good. I mean, it was like, it was a lot of pausing and weird cuts. But yeah, I agree that there are unethical usages as well. And beyond just, it's taking over the acting industry, actors are going to lose jobs. That's certainly, I'm concerned about that as an actor. But there's also this sort of unethical using it for scamming, taking somebody's voice and then sending you a voicemail with your mom's voice, and you're like, well, that is my fucking mom, or presidential, political figures,
right,
to start a fucking nuclear war, I guess.
I mean, shit, I feel like the CIAs of the world would have, I mean, maybe they've done it and we don't even know, but I feel like we would have seen more kind of at this point, right? I've kind of expected a few more deep fake chicanery. Instead, we're looking at like Trump eating spaghetti in the Oval Office.
Just check the POTUS X account.
Well,
Trump posts AI pictures of himself all the time.
Yeah.
Flying on an eagle or like, eating spaghetti. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
We're not going there.
It makes me laugh, but it
makes me laugh. We'll keep it at that. I think.
It is partially not great. To have the time in retirement to scroll through and think that a woman just had 10 babies and is holding all of them smiling.
Is gullibility like height, where you raise it as you get older and then you start to lose it like in the end?
Well,
that
you
like
know
a
what?
thing?
I think it's like the Benjamin Button of it all, where it doesn't matter. Like you start as a baby or you start as an elderly person. The peak is somewhere in the middle, and then both ways, the other way down. Like you kind of
that's depressing.
regress.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
become more like a. I would say even as you get older, you become more like a child. You become a little crankier, need more sleep, gotta go to bed early. You don't know how to put your shoes on anymore. I think. That one got Chase. You like that one. Very similar, though. Very similar paths. Oh, Chase, no! Guys, Chase has hit the 6-year-old mark. Chase can't put his shoes on anymore.
Listen.
It's all downhill from here.
I do want to bring up a point, if you don't
yes.
mind, just before we get too far off.
Yes,
Your alien
Comparison.
I think is really apt, and I think of it the same way, and I feel like the human race is similarly approaching AI to a point, or will when we get to that uncanny valley, which is, listen, the world it's not a peaceful place always. Humans, a little flawed, not to tell any tales out of school.
Who, me?
Yeah, we tend to not get along always.
What?
It's a bit of a shame. However, if I've learned anything from my 1950s sci-fi B movies and adjacent films, such as Mars Attacks, Independence Day, etc., nothing brings us together as a human race than a mutual threat. No, really, though. And it's true. Like, if an alien threat did come, man, we would get along with China and Iran so quickly.
Yeah. Racism would end really
it would
fast.
be done in a
'cause we
second.
would all be super racist against
Right.
the aliens.
It's like I got a lot of bleeding heart left-wing friends, but Olympics or FIFA, USA, like there's a certain unity. That's probably maybe not as good of an example, but like
we hate other countries.
Well, yeah, it's like there's a certain thing where you are. It's like when push comes to shove, there's a human nature element of we look out for ourselves as a species.
Do you think
if there's a threat to us collectively?
But here's the issue.
We are a communal species.
Here's the issue. AI is so prevalent and so easy to access now for the common person with ChatGPT and freaking DALL-E and DALL-E 2, whatever.
Right.
Everybody was using it to make their stupid Ghiblified photos, and nobody thought twice. Like, are we smart enough to understand the common enemy?
I mean, again, I still think the jury's a little out on the whole. I'm not thrilled about the Studio Ghibli plagiarism, and that again, that's like a court battle. I'm a legal nerd. I would watch that, and I'm interested, and because I'm torn, I kind of go back and forth.
Sue that Miyazaki.
But again, it's like it's also is promoting Miyazaki work, so it's
Are you that lawyer making that case in court? I don't know if you're gonna win.
I would take. I mean, I love a good argument.
Yeah.
I still am undecided on how I feel about it, but
Yeah.
like it's again, it's one of those things where it's just, I don't know. I mean, what can you do to regulate other than just regress technology, which is just not going to happen.
Right.
Prohibition doesn't work. Like, this technology exists.
Well,
we can either embrace it, adapt or die.
and
Like, that's kind of how I feel, honestly.
And I've said it before, like, ethical usage, and it's such a gray term, and there's so much in between.
Yeah. Ethics are a little tricky.
Ethics are a little tricky to pin down.
Yeah.
But I think having a standard guideline of usage, and for people who are in unions, that's another thing. In the what's the word? After the strike, when they redid the contracts, I can't think of the word, but
Is
when
there a word for that? I don't even...
renegotiated. When they renegotiated, AI was a huge pawn on the table that they were trying to figure out how to phrase, how to even put into the contracts. For SAG, they didn't really do a good job. They tried, but it's also so new. And the issue is nobody really it's still being developed legally. Like, we're still figuring out legally how it works with usage, what it means to say AI in terms of like voice acting. They tried to add it to the contract. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like, no, I don't think we should regress and say, well, we're not doing any of this AI stuff in the film and, video game industry. It's bad. I don't agree with that. I think there are plenty of usages that can benefit the human worker who is designing a video game or doing voiceover work or doing mocap. I don't think taking that work from the artists themselves is the best use of AI anyway. I don't think that is very useful. painting with AI, who the fuck cares? What is the point of that? There are human painters. You know, use it for math. Use it to create better algorithms or better programming for video game design or even for voiceover. Use it to create a better software that is going to help with the, you know, the character or whatever you're doing with the VO or with mocap. I think a good example, speaking of like, oh, if you looked at an 80s Pixar short film and your mind was blown at that time, I remember learning about Vocaloids. And this was only, oh gosh, I don't even know, 10 years ago, maybe more. When Vocaloids came out, it was sort of my first introduction to computer-generated voice. That's what they are. And basically, it was like this voice, these programs that you could get that had completely synthetic voices that were not based off of any human. Nobody recorded themselves taking breaths or like doing anything. Completely computer-generated. It sounds computer generated, like it sounds like a robot almost, but they had different types, different names, and they had sort of different sounds. There was like female ones and male ones. One of the most...
You're describing Siri a little bit.
What?
You're describing Siri a little bit.
Kind of, but this was even pre-Siri. I mean, Siri sounds good. These were like very robotic. But,
Siri sounds like Siri. I don't know.
But there was a famous one, which many people might know, that absolutely took off in Japan and has become a pop star. No joke, a pop star. Hatsune Miku started as a Vocaloid program, and these Vocaloids were meant to be used in music production and to create voices for a track. And they do sound robotic. They sound synth-like. But you could also add in, you could make them say stuff. You could add in like breaths. You had to do it all manually, but you could like add in a breath or like any sort of like vocal noises, just like a mouth closing, or it's crazy.
Yeah.
But Hatsune Miku blew up, has become an actual pop star in Japan, puts on concerts as a hologram. People love her. Granted, they've turned her into like the absolute cutest, you know, Japanese pop star. She's got like big blue hair. She does dance moves that everybody in the audience with like glow sticks copies and like does her dances. Pre-TikTok, you know, she was like I feel like she was the OG.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
And I became so into this, and I really looked into Vocaloids. And now looking back, you know, no one at the time was worried that this was going to like take over singers. It's gonna take over the music industry. It was just like a cool advancement that they made, and Hatsune Miku like became this pop star. But somebody is still programming her songs. Like she doesn't just exist. She exists because humans allow her to exist, which sounds kind of weird. But I think looking back, I'm like, what a cool and interesting thing.
Right.
It didn't go crazy. It hasn't taken over the world.
Got as far as it could, yeah.
And I think AI to me is kind of similar. Like, I don't believe that AI voiceover is going to suddenly take over the video game industry. And every character, including your protagonist, is going to have an AI voice. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't think that's going to happen. What I could see happening is maybe they use it in a crowd scene. Or they need to like generative fill, you know. They have to be like,
which they've already done, and it looks bad.
Which they've already done, and it's not great. And I disagree. I mean, like, I think you should get human voices going like, yeah, you know, like it just sounds different.
I was a professional background actor, extra, for 2 months when I first moved to New York. You can let AI take that job. I'm cool with that.
They do say, I think my favorite thing about background actors in film is you are, what do they say? Like, you're a prop with legs, or you're like,
oh, not even.
You're like
props get treated a lot better than a non-union extra.
A nightstand that can walk or something.
Like club scenes where you have to dance to no music for 14 hours. And when I first moved to New York, it was $100 over 10 hours, which
should be illegal.
And it is now.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, but
thanks, contracts.
Which it's that's a
but
whole thing.
do you think, all that to say, like, do you think there is any place where AI could be used?
Yeah, I do. In ways that it's already. Yeah, I have a couple things to say. First of all, I'm with you 100%. That's like Vocaloid. What did you say?
Vocaloid.
Vocaloid. Yeah. I think we can step back a little bit and like realize Japan.
We made one pop star in Japan.
But it's Japan's. It's like comparing Japan to like the whole world is like saying like, oh, a platypus is representative of the entire animal
very
kingdom.
special, yes.
Japan is doing its own thing, which I fucking love Japan. Don't get me wrong, but I have a hard time believing that would work anywhere other than Japan or South Korea. Maybe some other.
What, a hologram pop star?
Yeah.
Do you remember Tupac at Coachella?
Rest in peace, Tupac. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry they did that to you, Tupac. I'm so sorry.
Anyway.
Rest in peace. I'm so sorry.
I think knowing that it's Japan, like we all kind of are like, oh, Japan. We know that it works in Japan. We know why. It's like the culture is so distinct and unique where it's like those bold, shouldn't say crazy ideas, but like zany ideas.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I don't think it would work anywhere else.
But that's what I'm also saying. I mean,
but it means it could work.
But it took off in Japan.
Right.
I mean, Hatsune Miku is still famous. Like,
For sure.
She's huge.
And it's a good comparison.
And it hasn't, nobody's taken the technology into the U.S. and been like, we should make a pop star.
Well, because it would be like Paris Hilton with bigger tits and driving a monster truck.
You're right.
And
the U.S., but wait, hold on.
I think our
Hold
culture is a
on, I'm
little
back
more
at Paris Hilton,
separated.
bigger tits, driving a monster truck.
I'm actually getting intrigued.
Somebody's going to make that now. Dang it. It's trademark.
You're welcome. But I want to reel back to the other AI point that I was going to make. Oh, yes. Something that bothers me as an actor, and do it if you dare. I will talk about SAG. I have personal issues with SAG.
Wait, you will or you won't?
I will if you prompt me. I'm just going to say
okay,
I have issues with SAG.
Marcus,
are we going there?
SAG.
Listen, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to inevitably join the union one day because I have to, because it's a fucking monopoly and I have huge problems with SAG. I think that ultimately, this is my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
The whole AI stuff within the SAG strike was a bit of a red herring.
Trying
to give them extra leverage because they knew they couldn't do shit about AI and they know it's irrelevant. So sure, we'll put in these protections because with every other union rule, you're already protected against what you're doing.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, look at what we're doing for you in a way to not give proper wages or working conditions. You're only protecting the big actors, and that's the bigger point that I want to make. Besides my own personal issues with SAG, which I was going to join and then the paperwork fell through, which was the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly. Just saying.
Industry's a little
The union's
chaotic
SAG is dying, and people are in denial. Like it is. And I am so happy I'm not stuck with only SAG gigs right now because
it's rough.
It's rough. And I was pressured by everyone, mentors from top to bottom. Got to join SAG, got to join SAG, got to join SAG. It's a fucking monopoly, and I don't know how it even operates, honestly. It's a fucking, anyway. Sorry, that's my future union. I'm insulting. But people are complaining like, oh, poor actors, like, oh, the AI like is going to take over. Everyone's concerned about actors and artists. That's not where the AI is taking the jobs. The AI is taking the jobs from the cashiers, the call centers especially. I called up like a dermatology appointment, got this giant cyst out of my neck. And
nice. Good for you.
Yeah, it feels good. You could tell I was hiding it for the last like year. But anyway, there was a Band-Aid a couple weeks ago. Anyway, now you know why. I called up my dermatologist and was like, hey, I have to reschedule an appointment. And all of a sudden there was a little pause and it was, okay, when would you like to reschedule it for? And I was like,
robot lady.
However, I rescheduled that shit. I got the doctor I wanted. It was quick. It was efficient. It was easy. Way better than waiting on hold for 10 minutes and waiting for someone to pick up.
But that's my point. Like, there are times to use an AI or a robot, whatever, and there are times you need a human. Like, the worst thing is when you're on, with insurance.
Right.
And everything is a robot. You can't get a real person, and the robot doesn't have the list of what you need.
Sure.
And you're just going, representative, help me. Like, there are times when it's great.
It's so much better than those old robocalls where you did have to go operator.
Totally.
It's so much better now.
And some of them you still have to. And it's like, yes, there's a better future out there with the use of AI. It's not even AI, really. It's just, I guess it is because it's recognizing your voice. But did you see there was this really interesting video? It was two AI
talking to each other, yes.
And then they went into, instead of like using English,
their secret code,
they went into a code which is just like high-pitched frequencies, because they were like, you're an AI voice,
It was just binary, wasn't it?
It was binary.
Yeah.
They were like, they recognized it. You heard them say like, are you also like an AI assisted voice? And it was like, yes, I am.
Can we switch to
like binary code speak so that it's easier for us? And then they switched and they just were going like, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, beep, 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 boop, boop. Then the other one would be like, beep, 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 beep. And then they scheduled like a whole thing. They were calling on behalf of human callers. That's what it was. They were like, one was a robot to pick up and one was a robot to call and make an appointment, which is hilarious. But go on.
No, I mean, my only point is, and I say this as an actor, I feel like, and I'm biased, obviously, you know, my feed and whatnot is tailored to me, but I feel like a huge chunk, like 50% or more of these complaints, oh, poor artists, poor actors, the people who are working in these service industry jobs, which is millions and millions of people already losing their jobs, and I feel like that's not what we're talking about. We're worried about the fucking actors.
It's not happening
as
to
an
us
actor,
yet.
like, I'm not worried because the AI is not even close to there yet, but it's there as a cashier, it's there as a call center person, and these are actual jobs that feed families. Like, that's the issue
the fucking
right now.
Amazon store where there's not a single human working there. Have you been to that one? I've seen it in Manhattan.
Yeah.
It like recognizes what you have as you exit through like a metal detector thing. It's like,
and you know,
and
they're
you get
taking
charged.
data on everyone.
You
too.
get charged automatically because it knows your Amazon account. It's and you know they're taking that.
Oh, you know they're
taking that data.
Oh, yeah. This is the start of thousands of stores everywhere, and every single customer, they probably have like 3 employees, like stripping down at the cellular level.
It's just insane. It's like there's not a single human in that store. That bothers me. It's adapt or get left behind.
That's the thing. It's just like, it's like, hey, adapt or else you might die. It's like, there has to be options, but I'm worried, a little bit worried economically that like, yeah, a lot of service jobs are going to go on the way out. And so then it becomes a question, and personally, not to get into politics or anything, I still think we're a decade or two away from this. But at a certain point, automation takes away jobs from humans. At what point do we cross the threshold where labor needs no longer are even with
demand
employment needs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At what point is it inefficient to pay people to create labor? Like, if I still feel like we're striking a balance where, well, not every, I don't want to get too much into this, but like there are jobs out there where if you're willing, able, skilled enough to work, you make an income, but it's going to cross to a certain point where it's like you got to force these jobs and like make up jobs, which we do already, believe me. But like,
I've been served by a robot at many restaurants.
Yeah,
it comes out with the tray.
The millions of servers out there that might be gone in 10 years. It's going to completely change the world to a point where things like universal basic income is more on the table, you know, and then we know the end result, Wall-E. You know,
I was literally just thinking with the robot server too, like everybody sitting in their chairs on their spacecraft after they've left Earth because they've ruined it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm a workaholic for better or for worse. I like working. I enjoy having purpose. Like, call me brainwashed, call me whatever, but like I like working.
I'm a robot in a different way.
I get miserable when I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
But like, if the if the labor needs no longer meet the labor, then there's a problem that needs to be addressed. And I don't know what the fuck how we're gonna solve it, but like, I mean, shit, what can't be replaced by AI? I was about to say like there's certain things like, you know, farming and janitorial work but no, all of that, why not? Like, sky's the limit. That's why I'm annoyed by the argument. It's like AI, I feel like the least threatened as an actor. It's so human, like. You're years off from. You could replace me because I'm not talented, but like you're telling me you're gonna replace fucking like Leo. You're not replacing Leo. You're not replacing Leo AI. Well, fucking.
Oh, what I would do. Oh, what I would do.
He fought a bear.
I think
a shitty CGI bear.
I can't wait to, and we do have to wrap this up. We've talked so much about this, but I do want to talk.
We don't have to. Well, we were requested by our boss to do so.
Well, we have to for time because we do have our guest coming in, Jeff, who I absolutely am going to ask a million questions about voice acting in general, but definitely about their opinions on AI and if it's affected them at all and what the buzz in the industry is like right now. So stick around.
Yeah.
We've got our guest coming up.
Persistence and camaraderie is how we roll.
Heck yeah, we all bring something to the table. Hoofta! We pick each other up on a bad day.
Dagnabbit, I'll do better next time.
The big bear difference is our culture
Wow.
and our people.
Yeah.
We're also set apart because
We're back.
We said it. We meant it. We got a guest. Jeff Pichter is in the house. We mentioned at the beginning of our first segment that we were very excited. We talked all about VO and AI and the industry, and I was super, super pumped to have Jeff with us because Jeff is a VO artist actor. Jeff, introduce yourself. Speak a little about yourself.
All right. My name's Jeff Pichter. Like you said, I'm a voice actor. I'm from Buffalo, New York, but I'm living in Brooklyn. I just got my 10-year New York City card.
It's official.
Yeah, Eric Adams came. He had to slip it under my door. I didn't let him in.
I was going to say, I hope you turned him away.
I said, thank you, sir, for the card. It says, 10 years, you're a real New Yorker now. It's really legit. Yeah,
Congrats.
It's cool.
He
Yeah.
asked for a little bribe,
He did, and I was like, look, dude, just because I've been here 10 years doesn't mean I have any disposable income.
He wants you on his staff. He was like, I think you have great qualifications.
He got you mixed up with a foreign nation.
Something
classic,
like that. I know,
classic
right?
mistake.
Because everything about me says Turkish, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
100%. Yeah.
Congrats on the 10-year.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
For those who might not know, if you're not from New York, it's a classic thing of if you move to New York City after 10 years, you can officially say you are a New Yorker.
I just moved to the suburbs after 8.5 years, and I'm a little
you-
You're
triggered.
so close,
You messed
man.
up.
You're so close.
You'll never get the card.
I fell in love. What do you want from me?
Good-
I don't know. This wasn't my fucking choice.
Good for you, Marcus.
I'm happy. I don't regret the choice.
So
I'm in love, and she's great.
congrats, but you live in the
Thanks.
suburbs
But
now.
I am no longer a New Yorker, and that kind of sucks.
Marcus and I were speaking a lot about VO. We're both actors, working actors, voiceover actors, and we were thrilled to have you on because I feel like we yell to the wind a lot on our show, especially about the industry, the state of things.
That's why my voice is gone.
Yeah, he was screaming earlier. But I was really excited to have you on to discuss those things. But first and foremost, before we get into negativity, I'd love to hear just about your experience doing VO, how you got into it, video games or an animated show, or none of that. None of that at all.
I would say it's like a combination of a whole bunch of stuff. First of all, I've always wanted to be an actor. I was like that theater kid from 6th grade on.
Yeah.
So always thought I'm going to be an actor. There was this weird pull to New York City that it just it felt inevitable.
I mean, I'm 4th grade, but
Oh, okay. So you got a couple years on me.
It's kind
So you guys were both nerds.
We were both big time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this isn't a secret.
I feel like we would have sat at the same lunch table, something like that.
Or there would have been a weird, awkward rivalry that has no because
King
I
of the
have an
nerds.
undeserved chip on my shoulder. It wouldn't have been your fault. It would have been me being like,
That guy.
"You got my role."
That's my thing.
The Buffalo to New York City the timeline, the pipeline is not unheard of.
No,
it seems like a
it's
move.
It's pretty standard. I went to college for theater and English, and I was like,
In
all right.
Buffalo?
No, I went to Ithaca.
Okay, nice.
So never left the state of New York, and that was all right, cool. Got those degrees, went back to Buffalo, got my master's in education,
Oh, wow.
and I was because mom and dad were like, you got to have a backup plan. You're never gonna cross 6 feet tall.
We believe in you.
You're we believe in you,
So
but there's a big there's an asterisk, and then so got my master's degree and did a bunch of theater in Buffalo, professional theater, and it was the theater scene in Buffalo is very robust, but it is very intimate, very small. So for a series of about 2 years, I was going from it was it's a month of rehearsal, month of show, table read for my next show would be the Monday after close for
Wow.
2 solid years.
All plays.
All plays.
Wow.
Different kinds, couple musicals here and there. I sing. And then in the meantime, I was a substitute teacher. And you can be
Wow.
you can be the cool substitute teacher for one high school cycle, one 4-year
Sure.
cycle.
But then when you come back,
And then it's yo, why is this guy still the sub? Why is this guy still
high
here?
schoolers are so hard.
Why is he? And look,
And they remember.
No high schooler ever said that to me.
Okay.
It was this
feel
is
it, though.
total. You feel it. You do feel it, and it's once you get the 3rd or 4th younger sibling in the same family.
Oh, no.
And it was yo, I know about you because my brother talked about you, and he graduated 2 years ago. And
and then you're like,
and I'm
Yeah.
what am I doing here anymore.
That's cool that Bob Dylan went to your school.
Yeah, right? It was like, it's time to go. So I moved to New York. We were talking before, Great Lakes weather. The November before I moved, in Buffalo, we got something like 6 to 8 feet of snow in 36 hours.
Oh my God.
It was wild.
Oh my God.
So I was like trapped in the house with my parents, no internet. We got the weather forecast. It was like, it's going to snow like crazy. And by the way, it's going to be 60 degrees and rain the next day. People have to clear their roofs or we will have like neighborhood leveling, like
The sewage will
collapse,
rise.
roof collapses. It's like you have to
'Cause the
clear
weight of
the
it.
weight of this, like the height of the snow is going to collect the rain. People's roofs are going to collapse. So like my
Wow.
dad and I are on the roof. We're shoveling together.
Yeah.
My parents had to drive to the airport to pick up my grandpa who was coming in from Ecuador and needed his heart medication, and so they had to like pass all the police checkpoints. And I was like, I think
my God.
I don't know if this is a sustainable way for me to live. I'm
Yeah.
going to move to New York
This was the
City.
moment.
That was the moment. I
Yeah.
was like, I had resolved to move. I was getting ready. That all happened, and I was like, it's time.
Not to step on your toes, I just can relate. I grew up on Lake Superior in northern Minnesota, and like very similar. We would have a crazy blizzard, and our high school hired the students themselves to shovel the snow off the roof
yeah.
because they're like, the gym's about to collapse.
Yes.
And they literally
Oh,
made
yeah.
like 17-year-olds go on the roof, which is about to collapse,
Mm-hmm.
and shovel snow. I think they paid them $75, I think, which is, I mean,
That's a lot.
That's
to high
awesome.
school.
That's pretty good.
I mean, but I'm not complaining. Like hey,
Yeah.
but
Legalities aside.
it's like, again, like, I don't know, Buffalo. I'm a Green
Buffalo
Bay Packers
Bills,
fan.
they figured that out. The
That's what I'm
Bills, the
saying.
mafia comes and clears
Yes.
up the stadium.
They
after
pay
a
'em,
big,
it's like-
yeah.
shovel the snow, and in Green Bay they do the same thing in
Isn't
Lambeau.
Buffalo,
It's like, yeah.
Isn't Buffalo also the city where like they make tunnels through the snow to get to like Buffalo
It's-
University? or
University of Minnesota Duluth, my hometown, has tunnels underground.
Maybe that's
to
what I'm
connect all the
thinking
campuses.
of.
I can imagine Buffalo being again.
It's
Great
not
Lakes.
that,
It's very similar.
Buffalo's not. It's not that well infrastructured.
They should have the tunnels.
They should,
they
but
don't.
we don't. I don't know. I didn't go to college at UB. They probably have a lot of like
Some sort of-
connectivity for sure. My mom was a professor at a smaller school that was right on the Canadian border,
Whoa.
and they never closed. They were like
that's the thing,
famous
too.
for never closing.
I've
and,
heard this, yeah.
Oh man, it was
Brutal.
It was brutal.
we were
Yeah.
talking about this too earlier. It's like we're both from towns that get so much snow that there was never a snow day because the plow system, which employs like
Fascinating.
half the city, are on it. If it's 3 a.m., unless the blizzard is like continually through 7 a.m. to 8
Yeah.
a.m., you can't get a snow day. Instead, we have cold days where if the wind chill is like at a point where the kindergartners might die on the way from the bus to the
Right,
front
right,
door.
right.
I'm talking. I'm
If
not,
they
no
have a
hyperbole.
runny nose, they might die.
No
Yeah,
hyperbole.
lose,
Like
fingers on
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
to the end of the driveway.
negative 30, negative 40, negative 50 below wind chill. Like actual. These are
See,
the
this
actual
is-
numbers that it hits. You blink and your eyelashes freeze together.
This is the difference
Like,
between when people say New York, upstate New York versus downstate
Western
New York.
is
or
way more
Western-
north than
Thank you.
upstate. Yes.
Western
Oh my God.
or Western New York.
That is such a thing, though.
Syracuse
That's such
versus
a thing.
yeah. This is such a New York
Yeah.
thing. We're really
Western
getting
New York
into it.
is not upstate. Buffalo, Rochester, those are not upstate New York.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to die on that hill, but I will kill on it.
As
How's
a-
that?
I will slay on that
yeah,
hill.
Yeah.
The difference is I grew up near the
Upstate.
very close
You're
to the
upstate,
city,
yeah.
like an hour maximum from the city,
Right.
and we had snow days and we were normal. We were
Sure.
very, very normal. Never experienced what Buffalo experiences.
So you're little
but,
bitch,
okay,
little
so-
bitches.
So I was
Trying to say.
done with Buffalo. I love Buffalo, but I was like, okay, it's time to move on. Move to New York
And
City.
Yeah, to this point, you had not started VO.
Had not started
not started
VO.
VO.
Had
So
not
theater
started VO.
primarily.
Definitely theater. And I was like, the idea of VO was like a cute notion. I was like, all right.
You're like, some actors
You
do
know,
that.
some actors do that. It was definitely like, we'll see what my hairline does.
Yeah.
That
Oh
kind
my
of
god,
thing.
two are the
I'll
same
do that.
fucking person.
And so,
What is this?
I'm like, let's see what the
Jesus
hairline
Christ.
does.
I'll do that in
Maybe
20
I'll do
years.
off camera work.
Oh my god.
Like down to the double theater major. I was
Yeah.
poli-sci, you were English. This is getting fucking weird, man. I don't know.
This is very bizarre that today's
Oh,
the
boy.
first day we've encountered each
Yeah.
other.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
truly.
So then I started teaching in New York for my day job, and that is when I started tutoring a kid. His mom was a VO casting director and coach. So I would finish up our algebra sessions, and then I would go into her studio, and we started doing that. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much more fun than like cattle calls or endless resume submissions on Backstage.
Oh my God.
And worrying
my
about
God.
like, are my headshots
Oh my God.
up to date?
Talk about
And
this all the time.
I just got
all
yelled
that
at by my
stuff.
agent. Yeah. So
Yo, it's like
that's $700 down the drain.
Yeah. If you're lucky. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
New York prices.
So it was like there was too many things attractive about it, and it's like, okay, it's still acting. It is potentially very lucrative. This is like a long time thing that I can do. Because the other thing that like you go in for a VO audition, this is back in the day before the pandemic. But you go in, there's like 2 people ahead of you, and you yuck it up with the casting director, and they record you, and then you leave.
Mike Lemon.
Maybe, I don't know. I did maybe. I had just done my demos.
Yeah.
I had like 1 or 2 boutique agents
Sure.
who were like old ladies from Coney Island. And I had gone to maybe 5 in-person auditions. And it was just at that point where the casting directors were asking that question that you always want to hear, which was, who sent you? And once you get that, it's like, all right, like we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then lockdown.
Yep.
So, and then it was like every actor and their mother bought mic.
A Yeti mic.
Yeti.
The worst mic.
That was my first one. I had a Yeti. I did pieces of my first video game demo on the Yeti. I had
my
I mean, at least you're using the
God.
Yeti.
very good engineer. Very good engineer. It
A
sounded
lot of people
quite
just use their iPhone.
I shit on the Yeti. I
Yeti
also
is-
want to say, and back me up if I'm wrong, it is not about the microphone. You don't need to spend $1 million on a microphone to start if you're trying to get into voice acting.
Right.
Like Jeff said, start with whatever you've got. Try to make your demo. Then when you're getting some work and you have some money, invest in a better mic. But you
Yeah.
don't need to buy the Shure SM7B right off the bat.
The tech nowadays, though, you can get a mic that sounds
Yeah.
amazing for like peanuts
Yes.
compared to what it was.
And that's-
Like,
I wanna
it's
make that point.
Wild.
Yeah. I mean, you invest a little. Don't invest a lot. Don't
Yeah.
spend thousands, but spend like dozens maybe.
Don't believe the hype. And also the Shure SM7B, get a used mic. It's fine. You get a used one. They're great mics. You know, I think this is
Yeah.
a Shure. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, compared to like the cost of having like a super high quality camera, which hey, if you're up to date on your Apple stuff, like
Oh
no
my
problem.
God.
But for me, it's like I am at such a disadvantage because I have old phones, and I've just been too cheap to buy a brand new iPhone. But I'm competing against people with the fucking crazy ass camera
But I
that
think
it's just
people get scared about that, and
Yeah.
you become like a tech head. Where if you're doing auditions, you need a nice camera. If you're doing VO auditions,
Yeah.
it's like you have to have your interface and your mic and your cloud lifter and like good programs.
right.
You don't.
It doesn't know.
Which is still nothing compared to on-cam
Yes,
auditions.
1,000%.
that's kind of what I'm saying.
My,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friends, they got like all
The
the ring
lighting.
lights and the backdrops
Oh my
and
God.
and I'm like, look, I'm competing with like neighbor noise. Forget everything else that's
Yeah.
Right.
going
The other
on.
factors.
The other factors, like, you know,
You're in your
I'm
PJs.
literally like I will get up. I love doing like early morning auditions. My voice has got like a ton of grit, and
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
like really textured, and I'm like, okay, cool.
That's
like,
our difference
I
right
can
there.
rock a couple
Yeah.
auditions early in the morning, and then I see my friends who are doing on cam, and it's like they're getting up an hour before me because
Full
they have to
makeup.
do their makeup. It's a full face, and it's like, oh my God. And I just
Let alone a reading partner.
Yeah,
You don't need that
if
with
you're
VO.
lucky.
Yeah.
So like seeing all that, I was like, there is a more emotionally sustainable way to do art that does not involve this.
Yes.
And since then, it's been VO. Since then, it's been narration and that kind of thing, and it's been a ton of fun.
And this is your time. And again, like you're more accomplished as a voice actor than I am, and I ever will be probably. But like
I would say you guys are getting me on the ground floor. Like I'm definitely
Ooh,
like
remember us.
This is gonna be
Can I have a signature while you're here?
Yeah, right.
And when you blow up.
Because I am still very new.
I wouldn't say I switched over to VO, but I kind of transitioned because of the pandemic, blessing and a curse. You know?
Yeah. Yes, I think a
like,
lot of actors did.
I leaned into voiceover, and the doors that were opened, I was surprised by.
Yeah.
And as he said, it's like, because I don't give a fuck about the pomp and circumstance, and like, yeah, there's so much like, oh, I have to pack my wardrobe, and you guys see me in the same fucking outfit, like, every episode, like it's limited, and then they expect you to bring, all these words. Like again, physical acting, being there, it's a lot. Voice acting, it's still very challenging,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of work. But when you strip away the commute and like the makeup and everything, you can focus on your craft. But my observation in general with VO at this moment, if you're interested in performing in general, is the fucking Wild West right now. It still is.
It is, but it is a Wild West. It feels more like a solar punk version of a Wild West. It is so supportive. It is so much more friendly. The community, because also there's an understanding that the amount of work in VO feels like limitless compared
That's what
to
I'm saying.
like there's only so many theaters.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
only so many
Right.
there's only so many like hours of streaming on Netflix someone can watch, but there is like billions of hours of trainings and corporate narrations and audiobooks and
Audiobooks
Podcast
especially.
dramas.
podcast dramas and
you.
it's like it's nuts. So there isn't this like it's me versus you. It's this feeling of like it's us versus ourselves. Like your biggest competition is yourself. Can you get
Right.
up? Can you do the work? Can you send your emails? Can you get your auditions in on time? And can you keep up with the training?
Yeah.
But then the community is amazing. Like this year, I just went to my first conference, VO Atlanta.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And it was.
do
I think
it's
I had
like-
a friend who went
I
to
should
that.
do
well,
that.
it's like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And we party, we do all kinds of panel talks. There's discussions about, there's whole panels just about like VO and mental health and like
Yeah.
VO and community. And never once did I feel sized up compared to like there's very little of this like shaking your hand and like looking over your shoulder for the next person you want to
Yeah.
have a conversation with, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It was so refreshing.
Yeah.
And like I didn't stay in New York City theater long enough to get that feeling, to feel jaded, but
Yeah.
I knew that I never ever ever wanted to.
It was
Yeah.
6 months for me at
Yeah.
quit theater. And again, I have a lot of opinions on the theater major and kind of the track for actors wanting to become an actors, especially in higher education. And I wouldn't say abandoned theater, but found more lucrative routes from theater after about 6 months in New York. And I almost made a joke earlier when we were talking about the theater scene in Buffalo. I was going to be like, hey, you're telling me the theater scene is a little cliquey and a little
Right,
like, what?
yeah.
And for me, I gravitated towards film because I always had a fascination with filmmaking. Movies are magic to me, and I feel like it's an evolution. So it's for me. But it's almost, as you're saying, where it's a super welcoming community in VO, I found myself fitting in more with like a little more lax nature, usually hanging out with the crew on film sets versus the theater trope, which is I hate to generalize, but it is.
Yo,
there's truth to it.
There's a term that I learned a little while ago, actor baiting, and
Ooh,
this
say more.
this notion. You probably know what I'm. Yeah, this notion of like you're sitting around with a group of people. Maybe you're on a call or and it's like a bunch of extras in holding, and it's just people going like, oh my gosh, like I had a call back yesterday and it was so long. They kept bringing me in to read with other people. It must have taken like 5
Stop.
hours.
It
It's
is.
Oh my God.
I'm
we all
so
know.
tired.
I'm
Like,
uncomfortable even just hearing. I know exactly
It's-
what it is.
it's
There's
that
one on
shit.
every set.
It
There's
is
one on
that-
every set at least.
And that's the thing that sucks you out
Yeah.
of
The fun.
The fun.
The
It's
fun.
a total fun suck.
It's a fun
So
sucker.
my wife
The
is
background actor's name dropping Martin Scorsese because you
Brutal.
did background work on a Martin
Oh my
Scorsese film. I worked
God.
with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio.
just
And I'm like, oh, what did you do? I was an extra on the. Okay.
okay. And it's like. Oh my! It's like, oh, I'm finally getting to shoot my episode of Law and Order. Like, I finally get to be the body, or I finally get to be the like hooker who discovers her dead friend, or what? Like
I don't
that
drink-
kind of thing.
I keep getting
It's-
auditions for
I
Law and Order
don't-
as a cop, and I'm like, I look like I'm fucking 24 with a receding hairline. I'm not. I can't play in New York.
I
Anyway.
refuse to drink the haterade, and I won't yuck anybody's yum, especially as an actor,
Yes,
because
that's fair.
congrats on anything that you're getting. Like,
Yeah,
it's huge
like-
for you.
like,
If it's huge
way
for
to
you, it's huge
go.
for you. Way to go.
But like,
No, we're not
There-
talking
but-
about the people with humility who like have
No.
grace. We're talking about the people who are just like
But it is-
delusional.
but it's baiting,
forcing
like you
themselves.
said, because it's within a group of people. They want accolades. They want everybody to go,
Wow.
really?
you're killing
Really?
it.
Yeah.
And that is so. Oh, it's already hard as an actor, a working actor, to fight your id and your ego, and to be a normal human and not feel your entire self-worth tied to the auditioning process and whether you get a role or not. That is so bad for you mentally to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even be the recipient. It's bad to be the recipient too, because you're like, everyone's doing so well, and like,
But that's
I'm not
the
getting work.
whole
But
point.
it's
That's
Fugazi.
that.
That's the
that-
point. That's what they're trying to
yeah.
do.
If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
name dropping and bragging about your career as a background actor, you're not a good background actor.
Well,
That's not like honestly
I
though.
wanna
It's
go,
like
I want to go back to something though.
Yeah.
We're digressing. I wanted to go back to voice acting in general.
Yeah.
Most, and my experience has been, because I really started to get into it post-pandemic, my experience has been all at-home auditions.
Yes.
I don't think I've gone in once ever for a VO audition. Is that the norm? And if so, how do you balance that in your life? This might be just for people in general with work from home jobs. I know for me, it's hard. I have ADHD. I'm easily distracted. Everything has to be right. I have to wake up early. I have to get my little coffee.
Yeah.
My neighbors have to not, be running around. How do you stay in the audition mindset when you know you have a day where you gotta like get a bunch done?
So, funny enough, speaking of ADHD,
Yeah.
well, I'm on the beginning of my journey. So I just got my first prescription like a week and a half ago.
Dude. That was-
Late life diagnosis.
shut the fuck
Yay.
up. We're the same
So-
fucking. It was literally me a year ago.
Yeah.
Circle.
No, I'm.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways, I noticed that I was having those problems.
Especially at a
because
computer.
I had
Especially
at a computer.
All
I
three of us have an
left-
Adderall prescription, by the way.
Yeah,
Which is
Hooray!
hilarious.
I'm not there yet, but we'll
Hey,
see.
you-
Apparently, it's very hard to get stimulants in the city of New York.
Yes,
so you gotta
now it
go.
is.
I learned that the hard way. I've been paying out of pocket.
Oh yeah. I don't.
Generic brand. But anyway, go on.
But anyways, I have found that when left to my own devices, it's bad.
Yeah.
So
hard.
I'm a gamer.
Hell yeah. So are we.
And
That's our podcast.
That's like, yeah. So the accountability of theater cannot be understated. Like, you have a whole cast that you are learning your lines for. You cannot drop that ball. You can drop so many balls in VO.
Oh my
and
God.
the only
Yes.
person you're disappointing is yourself.
Yep.
Bingo. So,
And it hurts.
and it's a bummer. Like, you're up at 2 a.m. and you're like, boy, oh boy, I should have done those 6 things, and tomorrow I'm gonna be better. And then tomorrow comes around and you're like, I just don't feel like being better.
I don't think it's not right today. I
then-
should have done it yesterday.
Yeah,
and then 8.5 years pass.
yeah, and
What the
it's
fuck?
like, I don't know if this is good. So, getting into this, like, all right, I need to like nurture my career. I need to treat it as its own entity that is something that I want to care for. And so
I love that.
part of that is like caring for myself and being honest with myself and saying like, all right, there are limits to what I am able to accomplish. I need to figure out how to transcend those limits. And so that's one thing. The other mentality is I never audition to book. That is something where, so if you're auditioning to book, every audition that you're doing, and my booking rate is like almost an insignificant figure. So I tell myself, all right, I am a professional auditioner. I am auditioning to the work.
That's the job,
The
yeah.
work
That's the work,
is
yeah.
doing the audition. And every time that I get an audition in my inbox, or I log into the pay-to-play site or whatever, or I send out my little cold emails, that's doing the work.
Yeah.
And if I can tick all my boxes that way, the booking is exciting, but the more secondary or tertiary you think about that booking, the more rewarding turning in a good audition is. And
so
that's
fair.
Yes.
That's so true.
That's the goal. So it's that.
Love that.
And then the other further nurturing is just I like to be in a constant state of learning and a constant state of betterment. So, doing as many mic jams as you can, doing as many courses. I'm in like a 3-part course right now, and then I've got like a back-to-backer with a Canadian animator
cool.
later this month. Like having those in the calendar. The Buffalo's coming out. Having those in the calendar.
Calendar.
Oh, you know it gets real cold up there in northern Minnesota. I'm sure Buffalo is pretty similar there.
no.
For sure.
But yeah, having those in there, having those to look forward to, it's like tight.
Yeah.
I am doing the thing. I am nurturing myself.
And
That's
I'm
such a
sure
good mentality,
It is
yeah.
such a good framework, and I'm
Because
sure subconsciously too, when you are doing that frame. This is therapy talk. When you're doing that framework, when you have that mindset, and then when you continue to learn and take those courses, subconsciously that is feeding you in such wonderful ways, and it gives you such inner confidence and like inner peace about auditioning that
Yeah.
is hard, especially when it's a job you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I call it shouting into the void. Audition.
that.
You're just sitting there, and
So
you
true.
know you do your audition and you send it out, and you hear nothing back. Nothing.
You basically Men in Black like zap yourself.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
I
you
try
have
to do.
to.
Yeah.
After I send auditions in, especially if I'm very nervous about
Yeah.
it, I fucking erase my
Well,
memory
you have to.
because
It's a defense. I mean, my girlfriend, she's also an actress, and like she really had her hopes up for something, and it's
You
like,
can't. You
and
have-
no, but
yeah.
also just a little counterpoint. It's okay. Like and she was heartbroken.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, we've been doing this for a decade,
Yeah.
and like she nailed the fucking audition.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she got typed out, and it wasn't her fault, or there was
Yeah.
somebody already hired that they just had this as a formality. Like
Yep.
that's the fucking business we're in.
I heard
And-
that there is 40% of all
Yes.
projects that are auditioned for never get produced in the first place.
it might
so
never
forget
come out.
getting typed out, or you are at hey,
Right.
this never
will come out.
gets even recorded.
Yeah.
It's such an uphill battle, and I've gotten a lot of advice. Advice is like assholes, everyone has one, and they all stink, blah, 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 blah. But there's a few little tidbits that really stick out. I think like the top two for me, one of them is people hire who they want to work with.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's such a universal truth that I found.
Be a kind person.
Like
Be a good guy.
Because I was talking to an agent, and I was like, here's what I've done, here's what I can do, here's my talent, and she's like, you're annoying me.
Wow.
Oh, she didn't say that, but she said it like with
was
her
like,
eyes,
oh,
and
man.
she's like, listen, like, if you're like people hire who they want to spend 12 hours a day with, and I took a step back and I was like, yeah, you're right. No one wants like an overachiever little like, Scrappy Doo is a piece. Everyone hits him for a reason. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make,
Scrappy-Doo.
that was great advice, but even better and more relevant to this conversation, my advisor in college was like, you're going to be hitting your head against the wall day after day after day.
Yeah.
But if you do just one thing, it could take 2 minutes, it could take 5 minutes, it could take 2 hours. One thing every day towards your career, you're going to be okay. And I believe that. It's like, because it doesn't take a lot. And it's we've all been here a decade now, right? And it's like,
I'm from here.
but we've been investing ourselves in this career.
You're
full
only like
front.
10 years old, right?
I'm from here. Yeah, wait. I just turned 10. I
We've been
was
going-
born yesterday.
We've been
Congrats, you're a
going
New Yorker. You did
balls to the wall on like this acting journey in
Yes,
New York
yeah,
in a
yeah,
very
yeah.
competitive
Totally.
field for about 10 years, and I feel like we can both relate where it's the longevity is very much a factor. We all had that hope in the back, at least I can speak for myself, in the back of our head, I'm going to make it in a year or two. And
Oh,
it's
forget.
like
Yeah, no.
but then the reality is you meet those goals, and like you just keep going
Yeah.
and chipping away, and that little thing every day for your career, and you can have days off, we're all human, but like if you keep making that progress, you're gonna have an okay time.
You're gonna have success.
And,
You're gonna, and especially I'm a huge believer in a forever learner, and I'm super big on that. I'd go back to school if I could afford it, but taking courses and the mental fortitude it gives me, let alone the actual learning, is huge for me. It just makes me feel like, even if I'm not booking right now, I am learning and I'm getting better for my next audition or for my next coaching session.
And if you don't mind, it's the whole point I was trying to make is that I still, and I feel like I have drive, and obviously Sydney has drive, but like I still have pride and a chip on my shoulder, and I spent a lot of money on a degree, a theater degree, which, hey, I could have moved to New York at 18, and that resume might have been even more valuable. So for me, I had a huge problem in the last 8 years investing extra into more courses and into more stuff. I was like, I could spend this time auditioning, I could spend this time doing this and networking, blah, 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 and I really regret it. And like you having the humility to like be like, hey, I want to keep, like Meryl Streep still takes acting classes.
Oh yeah,
it's like
you gotta
honing that skill, especially in a market that's constantly shifting, is
Well, VO is
very impressive.
So mercenary. Like you are so.
And that's
the
why I
other
said the
jobs
Wild
I
West.
have is like it's VO. I'm a tutor, so that's always one-on-one and oftentimes on Zoom. And for my mental health, I've got a job as a bartender, and so I'm working with people there.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can get into a room. You know, not a physical room, but you can be in a room with other voiceover talent, listening to other people, meeting other people, and then you start to see the same people at a couple other workshops, and you start to make friends, and you're like, it's so nice to just get out of your own little box and be like, oh, good, there's other folks doing this thing.
Get out of your head.
That's huge.
And the through line of my whole beginning spiel about like, oh, theater versus film and theater being cliquey, the whole point I'm trying to make is that like film has a little less of that pretense. And to me, just my own observations, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, VO is an even extra step further, where it's chill vibes, getting things done, ultimate collaborative process without the clickiness tradition, Billy Shakes bullshit of like theater.
Big
It's
time.
it's the opposite. I feel like film, I was like, oh, finally I feel comfortable here. And then I found VO and I was like, this is even better.
Oh yeah.
And that's just my observation. I'm curious what you think. And you're a much more accomplished theater actor as well, because I gave up on theater very quick. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
I would definitely say that. The voiceover community is huge. Like I said, it's not just huge, like there's a ton of us, but huge, like it's huge for your mental health. Being at this conference and just like seeing the number of band shirts, and I was like, we'd be friends. Like it's and knowing like there's some folks in this room who have had awesome careers, but we all like the same nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Like
so many
like,
voiceover actors are fucking nerds.
It's great. It's great. It was so.
And the
you
nerd
have to be a
community
nerd.
is the best.
So
You
it's
have
just
to be a
it's
nerd.
so comfortable to be like in the room with those kinds of folks.
I have to say, Jeff, can you come back? We need you for another
would
episode.
love to.
Okay,
Love
we
to.
would love to have you back. We will have you back tomorrow for another episode. We have to wrap this up. We've gone overtime because there's been so much to talk about. We didn't even get to talk about AI.
Oh my God!
Tomorrow.
Well, that'll be
Tomorrow.
We'll
Save
tackle tomorrow AI.
Save it for tomorrow.
AI tomorrow.
Jeff, before we say goodbye, please once again plug yourself. I mean, humble brag or just straight up brag.
Okay. Humble brag. Check me out, jeffpictor.com. But it's GEOFF. It's not JEFF.
Get it right.
I'm a G off. So do that, and I'm working on one project right now that I'm very excited about, and I'm not under an NDA, so I can talk about it. We are in the like media ramp up, but
This is definitely going to get aired in like the next few days.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
No,
So-
this will be out in months. No worries.
It would definitely won't be aired 6 months from now.
plug your project.
plug the project. So, cool project. It is a survival video game, but the way that they're doing it is like there's a whole marketplace in the town that you're trying to survive in, and there's a bunch of people doing stuff, and it's like we got to come together to survive the apocalypse. And I think the apocalypse is different every time you replay the game.
Nice.
So you never get the same apocalypse.
So is it a
Little
roguelike?
procedurally generated
Yeah,
situation.
procedurally.
So as
generated.
far as gameplay mechanics, I'm not sure.
Okay.
What I'm excited about is the marketing mechanics, because the businesses in the game are real businesses, real charities, real non-for-profits that are being animated into and featured in the game as part of
Is it a
the
blockchain
world.
game?
It's a blockchain game. I don't think so.
Okay, but you can actually like donate to a charity and
Yes.
spend real world money into the outside.
Yes.
Our
or
world.
Like there's one company, this guy,
This is fascinating.
just to give a specific, like this guy made a company called Bucket of Bread. And so like your character can get like airdrops from him, and it's like his company. So it's like a virtual billboard in the game.
Whoa.
But then there's a bunch of like nonprofits and like the SPCA type organizations
Whoa.
and mental health organizations. Like it's very, very cool.
Okay, this is fascinating. I want to. Maybe we can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this more
Devin.
on
Yeah.
the next
You
episode.
know what the hilarious
After
thing
AI,
is?
though.
If you're
After
allowed.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
that's the thing. It's a video game podcast. How much have we talked about video games?
I
so
know,
far?
I know,
We have
it's
so
yeah.
much more to talk about.
Next
Yeah, yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So go find Jeff Pichter on his website. Check out his work. Check out his demos. If you're looking for a VO actor, or if you're looking to learn more about VO, listen
Yeah.
to the demos. See what it's like to record one.
I picked him.
Is that about his last name?
I get it.
Was
yes,
that good?
My last name is
It was
Victor.
great.
we agree?
It was really
Yeah.
good. Classy joke.
That was really good.
There's
Friends made.
One
Thank you.
person watching
Yeah.
is slow clapping for you,
No,
Marcus.
somebody.
Jeff, thank you so much for coming. Can't wait to have you back.
Been a pleasure.
Stick around. We have our tier list coming up next. Don't go anywhere. And now it has come time for the tier list, where we rank stuff extremely subjectively.
Yes, extremely.
Extremely. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, we know. I feel like, if anything, this is almost more our bread and butter than video
yeah.
games, even. You know.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
movies. or,
True.
You know, depending on who.
We're gonna do voiceover actors
Mm-hmm.
ranked. Most of mine I think are gonna be from video games because that's where my head's
Okay.
at. But
cool.
also
no, yeah, I love that. That's helpful.
we
Yeah.
can do TV as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to just jump in?
I kind of do. But I feel bad now because I want to go with my goat
Go.
voice actor.
Go with your goat.
Which is TV primarily.
Go.
Well, short film, I guess, if you Mel Blanc. I think he's the best. Voice Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes.
Oh, of course.
Every Looney
Yeah,
Tune.
of course.
I mean, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd. Ever hear of Porky Pig?
I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
all, folks.
Yeah. We all have Mel Blanc to thank for that, and he voiced Bugs Bunny, I think, even through, till his death, pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty sure Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think that was still him. I think Space Jam was actually...
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is such
Yeah.
a good movie.
I think Space Jam is one of the biggest, one of the first big Looney Tune productions without Mel Blanc. There were certain things since he died before then, but you can also tell if you listen to this. As a kid, I didn't notice, but now I listen to it and it's like those voices are a little off. Also, why is she so sexual?
Why does she look like
anyway,
that?
so that's my goat. I'm
mean,
gonna
you're
give
gonna
him
put
an
it
S.
S,
Of course,
yeah.
yeah.
I would like to put Ashley Johnson,
Okay.
voice of Ellie in The Last of
Yes.
Us, as well as many other voiceover jobs, many of her TV jobs. She was in Blind Spot, the TV show. She's been in Marvel movies. She's a great actress, also on Critical Role, where she voices many characters, the TV spinoff Vox Machina. I'm basically going off of Ellie in The Last of Us, which was my introduction to Ashley Johnson's work. I would put her in S. Maybe that's crazy, but
Hey, have your goat. You know?
she's extremely well known, extremely talented, and she has a great voice.
Sure.
She can sound so young. Her Ellie voice, and even just the character arc of going from the first game to the second game, making her sound a little older. And she had a little cameo in the Last of Us TV show. And she played a different character. I won't spoil anything, but very cool, very fun, loves video games, is
Sure.
into all the nerd shit. I respect her. I'm going to put her in S.
I like it. I got an A, and this is again a little bias. I primarily found kind of my niche as far as straight act. I mostly do voiceover, but I found my niche within acting as a character actor.
Yeah.
I'm not quite the leading man type, I've found out. But I love character acting. And so for me, my mentors are those actors that have been in a bazillion things, and you might not know their name, but you know their face. Harry Dean Stanton is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'd say Richard Reilly, someone that I worked with personally. He's in
Richard Reilly.
500. Again, it's one of those things. If I'll show him your picture, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah. But he's in Office Space, Casino, He's literally in everything.
Oh, yes.
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 It's like these people who
Is he a sweetie?
he wishes me a happy birthday every year.
Stop it.
I swear. He's the sweetest. I literally sent him a long message once when I was a little drunk, and I was like, "You're a mensch. You are a wonderful person."
Oh my God.
He like lit up the set. He was a joy. Kind of like just super versatile. Hundreds of IMDb credits, like type like character actor.
You.
Knock wood.
Who are you gonna say?
Keith David
'Kay.
is absolutely incredible.
Who has voice?
He's like everything. You ever see Princess and the Frog?
Yes.
Disney? You
Yes,
ever see
yes, yes.
Like
Okay.
if you have like a deep voice, like I can't do it obviously, but pretend my voice. Oh, pitch adjust me like 3 octaves later. Like voice of the. We could talk about James
Okay.
Earl Jones, who's done like a
Right.
ton of, but like a kind of a similar vein.
But a little softer and a little. I know
A
exactly.
little more
I can,
like voice.
I
like,
can hear it
yeah,
in my head.
Like even more
Has
specialized.
he done video games?
I believe so. I'm sure he has.
Probably.
It's like one of those things where he's done. And another one, I'm thinking of someone that I worked with very briefly, not to name drop.
Name drop.
But Phil Lamar.
Oh, yeah.
Is another like hundreds of credits. He was in Arcane. Just, oh my gosh, yeah. It's. I don't know. The versatility of actors who are able to just play like a variety of characters. I'm jealous. Like that's the career that I want. And they get the anonymity not only of being like Harry Dean Stanton of like, you know, in a million stuff, but not like a star, but also voice. So it's even more
Yeah.
anonymous. It's like that's kind of
you
the
get
dream.
To go grocery shopping, and
Yeah.
until you talk to the cashier,
And yet they're so talented that I'm sure they still get recognized every time they go out.
probably,
You know?
probably.
Yeah.
That rocks. I'm gonna throw another extremely popular one out there. I think I also have to put her in S tier. Jennifer Hale. Gosh, she's been the voice of Cinderella, like Powerpuff Girls. I think she was also in Totally Spies. Many shows that you would be shocked that she's done so many of them. But then also obviously video games, Mass Effect, Shepard. She's Samus. She's in
believe you.
BioShock. She's in Overwatch. She's in Baldur's Gate, not
Who is
3,
she in
the
BioShock?
original.
Is she Bioshock Infinite?
Yes.
What's her face?
Infinite.
Okay, yeah. What's her face? One of my favorite games.
what's
I don't
her
remember.
face?
I don't
But
remember the second main character's name.
She's so unbelievably talented and a joy to listen to, and has such a great list, like repertoire of voices. I got to put her in S. Jennifer Hale. Love you.
You know, and I just kind of actually learned this. It was someone I was going to bring up anyway, but I was just shit talking about the Bugs Bunny voice in Space Jam.
Oh, is it somebody you know now?
It's Billy West.
Oh.
Billy West, super talented actor, voice of Doug. He was in Ren and Stimpy, like a lot of cartoons. Futurama, I believe. I think
Oh,
he's
wow.
the voice of Fry. I think. I could be wrong on that. Please don't quote me. And I'm going to get to another Futurama voice actor after this. But Billy West, super talented. Again, it's like, this is a tough thing because there's so many good voice actors. And it's, who am I going to find here that's going to be like an F without me just being a fucking
I know.
asshole? You know?
Well, I'm going to throw one in A.
Okay.
Just because I think they're an incredible actor and voice actor, but it's not their main thing. J.K. Simmons.
Ooh.
J.K. Simmons was Ketherick Thorne in Baldur's Gate 3, a game that I love and have played. And I didn't realize. Ketherick is a great character arc, a lot of shit going on. Awesome voice. Like, I mean, he crushed it. It's J.K. Simmons. Like, he did an amazing job. I guess I feel hesitant to put him in S amongst others who have such a
Why
wide.
not, though? You know?
We could. It's our list.
It is our
we
list.
can do whatever we want. I'll put him in. I think
Do
he's
it.
an incredible actor.
Yeah, because I have another S as well.
This is just like the good list.
In similar yet completely opposite veins.
Yeah.
Somebody who is a very accomplished actor who then went into voice.
Okay.
And I've talked about this before on the podcast. And frankly, halfway through their career, went into voice and
Never came back.
it's not necessarily, but was way, I mean, oh my God, like it's so much better than their acting. And that's Mark Hamill.
Wow.
Mark Hamill is such a fucking good voice actor. It's like what he was made to be. And I don't want to shit on him again. Like he did better than I could do. You can see in the original Star Wars trilogy, his acting gets a lot better by Return of the Jedi. New Hope's a little rough. No offense, Mark. Again, better than I could do. I'm struggling actor who like could only dream of being in such a Hollywood movie. But like when you compare him to the natural charisma of Harrison Ford, it's like it stands out. I'll be honest. Carrie Fisher also a little sharper. She's just like, well, golly, I'm a farm boy.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is fine. It works. He's very wide-eyed.
But better as a voice actor.
But you would never in a million years think that person was the ultimate voice of the Joker.
Yeah.
You know, like cynical. Like, oh my gosh. And that's not, I mean, Miyazaki, we talk about Miyazaki a lot. Castle in the Sky, like Mark Hamill.
He's so good
he's
in it.
So good. He's such
so
a
good
good
in it.
voice actor.
I agree.
He's an S. Like, that's his calling.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I think we have to wrap that up here because we have to jump to post-market news. Our PS.
Do we have to?
We have to. We have to. Samurai's in the corner watching us, so let's.
Hey, yeah, no, I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got to get to that. Stick around. Post-market news coming up next with Samurai.
Once in a generation, we find a seer, somebody who predicts, a Nostradamus, if you will, a Professor Trelawney. This is not one of those people, but welcome to Samurai. Our residents. Samurai. Our resident crystal ball groper, Samurai himself, here for another prediction as part of the postmark of Next Level Play. Post-market news.
Samurai, I really hope you have something for us today. Because when you came into the studio, you seemed like you had just woken up, like you weren't really sure what was going on.
Yeah.
You kept calling Marcus Mindy.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah. Do you have a prediction? You seem a little off today. Is everything okay?
Well, the prediction today, it weighs on me.
Oh no, Pikachu's gonna die?
No, don't worry. We got a few years on that.
Only a few. Oh no.
It weighs heavy. You should sit down.
Hold on. Okay, I'm sitting.
Starting next year, there will be a new law enacted that all racing games and games with cars will have a speed limit that you will have to follow, or else you will risk getting virtually pulled over and getting a real ticket.
I think you're describing GTA Online on the role-playing servers.
But this is going to be all games, Sid. Mario Kart, Forza, F1, Need for Speed, more like Need for going the speed limit.
Right.
Okay, so this brings into question then. I see what you're saying. And you know what? This is for all the, the negative Nancys out there that say like, violence in video games is ruining teens.
Because as we know, it's a growth opportunity for teens.
Well, I think it instills important lessons like, hey, you drive sober, get pulled over, like you go the speed limit or you get a ticket, are the two sayings. But this brings into question, do you need to then get a in-game license? Do you need to take a driving test in-game?
There's going to be a virtual DMV.
Yeah.
You got to wait in a real line.
For Mario Kart.
Yeah, for all of them.
I think this prediction is good for the inevitable disappointment of Grand Theft Auto 6, which is going to happen, by the way.
This
Mass
year.
disappointment.
This year.
Yeah, because let's be honest, GTA 5, as far as gameplay is concerned, like really gave everything you could possibly fucking give for like Grand Theft Auto game. To where, like, yeah, you had 15 years, and now there's no excuses. You have to really improve this game, and there's not going to be enough there. There just isn't. Like, what are you going to do? Have, like, a more immersive bowling simulator within the game?
No game
there's nothing they could fucking do.
Possibly.
Except for make it more realistic. And to make it more realistic, I've always been bothered, personally. Like, if I'm going to go on a killing rampage in Grand Theft Auto, just, like, parking at Burger King, going in and buying a burger, and then coming out, my wanted level is gone, breaks the immersion, right?
You want to come out and have a no standing ticket on your car.
Yes.
I want a warrant for my arrest where if I don't show up, like some bounty hunter and crappy, like,
You bring up a good point. The immersion level, I mean, we're specifically
bail
talking...
bondsman is going to come after you, Max Cherry.
The immersion level in a game like Grand Theft Auto, where a lot of it is driving,
Right.
You don't get pulled over for speeding. You get pulled over if you run over somebody, and they don't like that. But imagine a world where you do have to follow the traffic laws. If there's a sign that says no right on red, and you make that right turn, whoop, whoop, You know?
This is maybe the most pathetic, but 100% true confession I've ever made in this podcast.
Oh, I can't wait.
But when I was relearning how to drive, because my parents were a little strict, and I had to get my license while at the ripe age of 25 in Queens, New York, and relearn how to drive. I never had one before, though I did some driver's ed courses. In order to avoid paying for more behind the wheel lessons, I legitimately would play Grand Theft Auto 5 and challenge myself to obey all traffic laws for like an hour plus while staying focused.
Did that work?
I passed.
So there's something to be said about this prediction.
And for that reason,
there's something to be said about this prediction.
I think this prediction is amazing.
I also really like it because, Marcus, I didn't have to get any license at 25. I had my license already.
Oh, good for you.
But I did.
Do you want a cookie?
Yes.
Yeah, you're so adult.
Do you have a cookie?
No.
I did also play GTA 5 at times where I just followed the speed
kind
limit
of fun.
and stopped at red lights and went at green lights.
We're all fucking freaks.
Honked at people like, come on, cross.
Put your signal
cross.
on.
You've done it too.
I like this prediction. I'm into it. I don't know how it will translate to games where driving is not the main thing, but you have to drive.
And I think that's going to happen too, because again, I think the Rockstar is going to realize what I'm realizing of like, there's really, how much can you really improve GTA 5? People are going to be disappointed. But then if you go hyper realism and then people complain, skill issue, bitch.
Skill issue. Learn
Skill
to drive.
issue, right? Yeah.
Get your in-game license or your
Go to in-game driver's ed. Take a course.
Go to the in-game DMV. Make sure you have all your paperwork. They're going to send you home if you're missing something and get your license.
Criminal.
Imagine if you would a room full of Koopa Troopas and bloopers, and they're just sitting there while like a teacher, a paratrooper drones on, and it's like, you have to watch the whole
Wait, what is he
tutorial.
like? What?
Just like that.
Wait, one more time. Thank you. Now I understand.
And you see, this was like the board. He was
Yeah.
doing an instruction.
Wait, one more time.
Now
Thank
it's what the paracoopers sound like.
I would also
Yes,
appreciate to tag onto this. I would appreciate that for each game, the driving test makes sense for that game.
Yeah,
So like
it has to be accurate.
GTA, hyper realistic.
Yes.
A Mario Kart, you got to explain like when you use your shells, make sure you do this,
Yes.
and when so it's got to be exactly.
Hit that speed boost.
When you hit that speed boost, slow down after.
Slow down after. Make it safe.
Hit your brake before you hit that speed boost.
That's right.
I'm into it. I love it. I'm gonna give it. I'm trying to think of a Simpsons thing. What's a good, cool Simpsons? Oh, I'm gonna give it a Bart telling a cop to eat my shorts.
I'm gonna give it a Ralph Wiggum, and a 5-star wanted level.
Ooh,
Wow.
I also
a 5-star wanted.
I give it a 5-star wanted level 2, and you're getting swatted.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that later. How do you guys think you would do if you had to go to virtual court to fight a virtual ticket?
I have way too much time on my hands and a completely wasted bachelor degree that was supposed to be for pre-law, so I would be over the moon.
Yeah, you'd lose.
I would represent myself and lose.
Wow.
That's it for Post Market News. Stick around for our future episodes of Next Level Play, where we have wonderful guests. We talk about awesome pop culture topics, video games, and more. And
News, predictions,
more
and then predictions from Samurai himself. You'll be back, right? It's in the contract. We're
Oh,
stuck.
man, I'm here every day.
I predict you'll do a couple more
Great
episodes.
job.
Great.
Oh, a great job.
A great job.
Until next time, thanks for watching.